Welcome to We the People. How many of you knew that 198 languages in India are on the list of UNESCO's endangered languages? Also, a recent linguistic survey, which is still a work in progress, points to the fact that in the last 50 years, India has actually lost more than 200 languages. Yet we continue to boast that the one thing we do better than China is speak English. But BJP President Rajnath Singh has stirred an old controversy, in fact an ongoing controversy, is the correlation between English and people of privilege, leading to a certain anglicization that is dominating and snuffing out other languages. That's what we'll be asking on We the People today. And before we set the ball rolling, let's listen to what the BJP president said that created such a storm.
सब कुछ खो गया है, आधुनिकता की चकाचौंध में। और मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि सबसे ज्यादा क्षति इस देश को नहीं पहुंची है, अंग्रेजी भाषा के कारण सबसे ज्यादा क्षति इस देश को पहुंची है। अंग्रेजी भाषा का ज्ञान पूरा नहीं है, लेकिन जब अंग्रेजी भाषा के कारण अंग्रेजियत जब जीवन में पैदा हो जाती है, संकट वहीं पैदा हो जाता है।
So, अंग्रेजियत जहां पे पैदा हो जाती है, संकट वही है. The problem is not the knowledge gained from English, but anglicization. Let me start with Som Mittal. We like to say that the one thing we do better than much of the world is that we speak English, that we have finally Bangalored the world, that the fact that you now have call centers that are coming up here speaking English to the world as an audience goes to show that this is one thing we've learned how to do and learned how to do well. When you have politicians like Rajnath Singh reopening the debate around the primacy that English has in a sense been given for the aspirations of India, does it concern you?
Yeah, it does, because I think it's not a zero-sum game. It's not English or this. I think it's both. Yeah. And I think the issue is that the world is getting globalized. We can't be losing out our position there. We can't deny benefits to all these people who are here competing in the world. And I think English is important for us. There are 750 million people who speak English, and for half of them, it's not their mother tongue. Yeah. Right? So I think it's important that we don't make it either or issue.
What is the advantage it gives us in the global arena?
Well, you know, I think English is the global language. And if you look at our own country, where we have multiple languages, you talked about 198 of them, one thing that binds us and presents us well is English. And by the way, China, Japan, which are single and very, very homogeneous societies, they themselves are now focusing on English because that is the global language.
So for you, in a sense, this is a non-debate.
I think the debate is what you started with, saying, is there another way that we can save our language? But it's not because English is happening. Most of the movies are in Hindi. Are they making an impact on our culture? So I don't think we should go and blame English, English. This is an old debate, and I'm not sure Barkha has this debate coming, because you'll have it in We the People, and so many people will see it now.
Pawan Verma, here's the point. That English has been the language of privilege, I think is a given. Now take somebody like you. You write in English. I would imagine you dream in English. I always say that what's important is not the language you speak or you write in, but the language you dream in. So am I correct in assuming that you dream in English?
You're wrong.
What language do you dream in?
Because by conscious training, even though everything would have made me one language man in English. St. Columbus, St. Xavier, St. Stephen's, the kind of English medium education, we begin from nursery class.
So you were a quintessential Macaulay's child.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I made a conscious effort to be bilingual and learn my own language. And therefore, can I answer your question? Yes. That you see, there is no contradiction between knowing English and knowing your mother tongue. English, as Somji said, is a global language which we can learn, but a language of communication can never become a substitute for your mother tongue. The reason for that is simple, Barkha. We must understand it. A mother tongue becomes a window to your culture, to your traditions, to your folk tales, to your lullaby, to the smell of your soil. A language of communication equips you to deal in terms of a globalizing world.
So what is your mother tongue, Pawan?
My mother tongue is Hindi. All research shows that if you are first grounded in your own language, you learn a foreign language faster. But because of the legacy of British colonialism, I am now saying it not as a critique.
Yeah.
We privileged English over our own language. And children coming to school in class 1 begin to try and form their tongues around Baba, black sheep. at the cost of their own language, and we've turned out to be nations of linguistic half-castes, adrift from our mother tongue, but never knowing English as if it was our mother tongue.
Now here's the question. What if you don't actually know what your mother tongue is? You were very categorical in your answer. Somebody like me, Punjabi by birth, grew up in Delhi. I can't decide which one of those two should be my mother tongue, and yet the truth is, and the shameful truth is, that I don't feel proficient in either. I don't feel proficient enough to not make a grammatical mistake. There are also interlingual marriages. Children who have grown up not knowing automatically what their mother tongue is. So Mithil, before I take that to Mark Tully, what would you identify as your mother tongue?
Hindi.
Hindi?
Yeah.
And can you dream in Hindi?
Yes. I have a 92-year-old mother. I can only speak to her in Hindi. This is Hindi बोलते हैं, Hindi बोलते रहेंगे, और अंग्रेजी भी बोलेंगे.
You don't feel that it's a competitive space. It's not either or.
No, I think it is competitive. When you get into business, when you have to present yourself, and I won't worry about grammatical errors and so on. When you have a French person speaking, he doesn't speak perfect English. So I don't think I'll feel bad if I didn't speak perfect English. But I think English is the language of communication. Why should I not learn it?